I ain't got time. I got the time right now, though. Morning.
Good morning, Nudelberg Daily Huddle.
What makes a no? It is Face Off Friday.
Let's go.
Busy thinking about my baby.
Football.
And I ain't got time for nothing. Good morning, Shea Money.
Good morning.
Nice afternoon out on the water yesterday.
Good morning, Ann Gottwald.
First in the house. So this will be Marvin Gaye weekend for me. I'm totally chilling, and I am totally into Marvin Gaye. Eddie Dykes, happy Friday. So is it Friday or is it Monday? Oh, yeah. And I ain't got time for nothing. So today is National Thoughtful Day. So we'll be digging into the thoughts, man. Jeff Barber, welcome. Nice to see you, my friend.
Digging into the brain.
Jeremy Torres, an original.
The brain. Good morning, Todd. Todd bringing his first lady into the group. April.
Very nice, man.
Good morning, April O'Connor. There's another April in the house.
So I was going to shout out to Stacy Mostrow this morning, but Brett and Stacy are together. And Stacy, thank you for that note. It meant a lot to me. It really did. So thank you. Stacy Ostrow. Friday cheers.
Gifford, good morning. Good morning, Donna Goldfarb, another great first lady in the group.
Thinking about anything but my baby.
Don Sarvis in the house. Good morning,
Don Sarvis.
Don, you see I'm representing here. Major representation going on.
Listen, you know what? That's why they play the games, dude.
You're right.
Or we think they play the games. Who knows?
I hope they play the game.
All right. Thank you, Marvin Gaye. That is a nice way to start a Friday morning. I was out on my bike early morning listening to all Marvin Gaye, and certainly he moves you emotionally. His song, What's Going On, man, couldn't be more appropriate. So as I said, today is National Thoughtful Day. And we'll dig into what encompasses a thoughtful day. I think the meaning of the day is how you treat other people. Go back to Monday or Tuesday, we were talking about forgiveness. That falls into this. So we got lots of good stuff. Let's start out with some shout outs for people who are still being knuckleheads on LinkedIn. We should have just a segment. You're a knucklehead on LinkedIn. Okay. So Hal is the president of a company. I won't say the name of the company. Hi, I hope you are safe and sound, Steve. I don't know this guy, okay? I genuinely believe in building meaningful connections and relationships on LinkedIn rather than selling. And if we both have resources that can benefit each other, it should just happen that we could naturally meet. I'll be glad to have a short call to fill you in on what I do. It's just,
there it is.
He blows it, you know. Would you be open to connecting? You know, I was like, so how that doesn't work for me because it came in through InMail. So he wants to learn more about I do. So I don't know if you guys have gotten this before. I'd like to learn more about you and what you do. If you would have taken 2 seconds to look at my profile, you would know exactly who I am and what I do. But sorry, Hal. So, speaking of Hal,
I think it's good because all the conversations that I'm having, people are loving that we're giving real-time examples, but talking about what was missing there is that there's no research. Everything is about, oh, it's genuine and I want to build a relationship. That's great that you want to do that, but tell me why. What was there a podcast that you listened to? Was there a piece of content that I put out there? I'm giving you ample opportunity to find a reason to give me, and now you got a shot. Now I'll at least listen. But there's nothing there. What
So
is it? What?
it's not Hal Mindell, man. That's right. I didn't say the guy's name, so it is not Hal Mindell, man. That is fantastic, man.
Oh, yeah,
That's the Friday funny, brother, man. I love it.
great.
I love it. That's great. So to your point, he sent that same message to 1,000 people, and is
That's a
expecting
template.
some.
It's a template.
Yeah.
All they're doing is inserting the first name, and it's a template that goes all along with it. There's nothing there that's giving somebody, an individual, a reason that you know they want to genuinely connect with you, other than saying, I want to genuinely connect, which if you're not giving me the background on it, it's empty. It's not real.
So I love it. So let's stay on the whole Hal thing, because certainly that Hal was a shallow Hal. And speaking about shallow Hal, Jack Black's birthday today. Big 5-0 to Jack Black, and thank you for all you put into the world. I think he's one of the funniest guys on the planet, you know?
School of Rock is an all-time classic. Like, great music, just fun movie, great to watch and makes you feel good. Like, School of Rock is an all-timer.
Well, that's one of those that when you're scrolling through TV and it's on, you land on it. You could watch it every day and still love it. The music's great. It's an inspiring story. So happy birthday, Black Jack. On this day, a couple of big shout outs. Sarita's here. Sarita Hardy hasn't been here in a while. A couple of people we haven't seen. Stanley Rosen, welcome to the opportunity, my friend. On this day, in 1963, Civil Rights March with Martin Luther King. Now, you want to talk about thoughts. You want to talk about thought leadership. You want to talk a guy who did not allow himself to be influenced by the state of being and then move on. Dude, I mean, fantastic. So on this day, 200,000 people in 1963 marched in Washington. They will be marching again today. It became the high point. And today was the day of that speech, that famous speech, I Have a Dream. I really wish that, you know, after all those years that we'd be further along, but maybe the State of the Union now, we will finally take care of stuff.
Sure. I mean, it's very appropriate, the I Have a Dream speech, because having a dream and having the thought and the vision is critical. And then being able to take that thought and consistently put it into your brain to stay positive and all of the things we're going to talk about with that. But, you know, in today's world with what's happening and all of the movement that's going on within sports leagues and the things that are being talked about, it's just important that we listen, that we just listen. Just listen to other people. So I'll close out. I know we got stuff to get through. And when we get to the end of the show, I have something that I want to say, but we'll get to that.
Okay. So just so everybody notices, just to call it out, it is Face Off Friday, right? And I am wearing Gator. I have my Gator mask and I'm ready for some football.
You said it was shirts. You didn't say, you know what? You have your mask. This never goes away. Don, it's
you
forever.
are my blood. You are my blood.
It's
and
forever.
I know that you coached for the Gators, so I'm
proud
of you for that. Look, I knew it. I knew you'd wake Kyle
in the house. Let's go, Kyle. Let's go. Representing.
All good stuff. So there was something I was taught years and years ago by a gentleman named Bob Proctor, and he taught me the theory of thoughts become things. And so thoughts can be, people who thought of a smell, took flowers and whatever and created that. Thoughts are shared every day. Thoughts can be bought or sold. Lobbyists do that. So I want to read something to you. It was a quote by Gandhi. Luis Martinez, War Eagles are out. I don't care.
Eagle.
There is no Auburn in this thing. There's a filter coming through, baby.
I love it.
So anyway, really important here, because this is something you should write on your wall. It's something you should know. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny. We can end right there and just start talking about every sentence, breaking that down, my friend. So go for it. What comes to mind when we bring up this topic?
Well, it's the power of the mind, and it's the one thing we talk about. Like, I physically train my body every day and work out the muscles that I have in my body. But the biggest, most powerful muscle that I have that controls the destiny of my life is my brain. It's the thoughts that are happening. And it's the hardest one to train because it's so affected by all of the exterior things that are happening around you. All of the inputs that are happening, whether it be the people, whether it be the conversations, whether it be the things you listen to, the things you watch, all of those things have a direct impact on your brain. And as soon as you stop paying attention to what you're thinking, that real estate becomes filled with the things that don't matter and
Garbage.
get out of control.
Garbage. So we've talked about this before, and it actually, the whole week, forgiveness, influence was what I talked about on Wednesday, that book. So all of this ties together because there are about 60 to 80,000 thoughts that go through the human brain every day. Most of them are negative. They are programmed by your childhood experiences. They're programmed by what you eat, what you drink, all of that kind of stuff. So the power of what the mind can do, in a nutshell, your life is the perfect mirror of your thoughts, beliefs, and dominant mental habit. So mental attitude, rather. So attitude really affects so much. Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you can't, you're right. Whatever it is, So, understanding that today's National Thoughtful Day, I wanted to dig a little deeper into things about how to control your mind, how to, look at, and one of the words, I'm going to throw some words at you, and then I want you to come back to me. So if I said the word reframing, what does that mean to you?
Changing the way you think about something. So when I think of a picture, right, if you just put a blank picture on a wall with no frame around it, it just kind of looks like the picture. But depending on the frame you put around that picture, it enhances it. It makes it fit into the setting better. It changes that picture based on what you put around it, which is the exact same thought for your experiences. How you reframe everything that happens to you in your life affects how you think about it. So whatever the negativity is, whatever the bad experience was, whatever the good experience was, how you frame it and reframing the negative things in order to turn it to a thing that you can use as fuel or fire or as a positive, that to me is reframing.
I absolutely love it. And when you talk about the power of the mind, sometimes it's really, really important to get what's in your mind on paper, get it out of there, free it up to allow more stuff to come in. Many of the people that I spoke to yesterday, and you and I had this discussion last night and this morning, I am really proud of the work you and I are doing pro bono. There's a lot of people who are in trouble. They're just not getting it. They're not feeling it. And they don't have the resources to pay for our services. And so we've been putting people on a roadmap to get to another place. And most of the people we're dealing with don't even have it written down.
Yep.
And here's the other thing. Ask them straight away, hey, where do you want to go? Or what does success look like?
Shay, throw up Ann's comment right now. Throw it up there. That is phenomenal. Physically stopping my thought and restructuring how I am looking at it. Redefine how I want to see it. Boom. Mic drop. Thank you, Ann. That is phenomenal.
And Columbus coming in strong. But so the whole thing rests on you. It's your responsibility. I probably could have played the Michael Jackson song, The Man in the Mirror. Maybe I'll play that on Monday because it's reality that when you look yourself in the mirror, you have to take responsibility for doing all of this. And so the next word I want to talk about is visualization. Talk to me, because in sports, it's total visualization.
Well, yeah, I mean, you spend all of your time practicing during the week, but then the biggest prep that happens is that Friday walkthrough. That Friday, you're sitting in the room and you're visualizing how you're going to execute every single play, which is what I do on a daily basis in business. I get up at 4 or 5 o'clock and 4:30 in the morning. At 5, I'm looking at my calendar, I'm getting some inputs, I'm doing some extra research so that I know going into the day, I know I prep for the huddle. I know exactly what I want to talk about. I know how I want to position what we're saying. I visualize it all happening so that I see it happening and then I go do it. But I put it in my brain first. It's the thought on how I want to execute it.
So I'm so happy that you went down that road of the walkthrough, because clearly you could do a mental walkthrough, which is what I do. Those are my evening rituals. The night before, I do a walkthrough. I look at my calendar, which is printed and full, as you can tell, and then bam, I go through it mentally and visualize what the dialogue is going to be about. I visualize what I want the result. When we were kids, you grew up, you always dreamed of getting the opportunity to get up in the 9th inning and hit the home run or run the ball, the kickoff back. Those were dreams that, hit the winning buzzer shot, all that kind of stuff, which was visualization. By the way, music helps visualization. Music affects your thoughts, which is why we start out with this stuff. You start listening to certain music, it brings back memories, that allow you to visualize something good that happened in your life. And oh my God, unbelievable stuff.
So do movies. So do movies.
Yep.
That's why watching a movie, it helps you see what it is that you want to do. So if you fill your content that you're receiving, if you fill that with negative, dark things, and you wonder why your brain is negative and dark, you can't see the vision of where you want to go, that's it right there.
True. So I'm gonna, got 5 minutes left. Michelle, nice comment. Yes, we create our own limits. So there is a concept called self-limiting beliefs. I don't belong there. Your mind is telling you, and this is something I tell every single person I come in contact. You talk worse to yourself than you would ever allow anybody to talk to you. So all of that negative shit, everything that you dealt with that was a rejection in life, comes back to you and say, you know what? I don't belong there. I'm not worthy of that. And that's where all of this mind stuff, when I talk to people and CEOs, they go, where should we start? We have to start with the brain. If you don't believe you belong in a room with CEOs, and this happens more often than anything, that most salespeople are scared. Oh my God, I got a meeting with the CEO. Oh my God. Well, guess what? He takes a shit just like we do.
There's the ultimate equalizer. To me, when somebody feels like they don't belong, it's two things. Number one, they don't believe in their own value. They don't understand their own value that they bring and what they can do to offer and what they can bring to somebody. And the other thing is they hold the other people in too high of a regard. They forget that they're humans. They forget that they've gone through the same track as everybody else to get to that spot. They put on their pants the same way. They have a hard time waking up just like everybody else does. But if they're successful, they probably have some really good habits that you could either learn from or agree upon on a conversation.
I love it. Good morning, Jay Berkowitz. Thanks for joining. Always great to have you along. So I want to point to, so I do a lot of reading. Everybody knows that. There's tons of books that speak to this kind of stuff. I want you to recognize one book, Norman Vincent Peale, okay? The Power of Positive Thinking. This is real shit. I mean, I was a fan of The Secret, the movie The Secret, which talked about the laws of attraction. What you think about, you actually attract into your life. And so I want you to think like this. Did you ever think of somebody from your life that you met or whatever, and then all of a sudden they show up in your life a couple of days later or a week later? There are no coincidences. That is the power of your brain. The Power of Positive Thinking, Norman Vincent Peale, rather. The way to happiness. Keep your heart free from hate, your mind free from worry. Worry is just the complete waste of time. Live simply, expect little, give much, scatter sunshine, forget self, think of others. Try this for a week and watch what happens. And so what I did was I took the summary of that book, and there's 3 major takeaways. Mark, do you have this in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you start with the first takeaway? There's three major takeaways. I'm happy to share this with anybody who wants it, but this is really the sum of the conversation. And these are the kind of things that if you feed yourself, that's the practice of making the mind work for you instead of against you.
Believe in yourself and visualize your goals to see how small your problems are.
Yeah, so, if you start with confidence, and confidence is something that comes before it actually happens. That's the hardest thing. Martin Luther King, we were talking about him today. He talks about faith is taking the next step when you don't know where it's going. When you're in a room with people who are confident. And trust me, there's plenty of times, like when I got on stage for the first time, I was scared shitless. We're 100 people in there, and my brain was going, "Oh my God, what happens if they don't like me? What happens if my zipper's open?" All of those kind of things. And you know what? It never went away. I had this conversation with somebody the other day. They go, "Wow, I get nervous a lot of times." I go, "Nerves, those are good. Those are just let you know a lot you're alive, but that doesn't mean you don't show up confident." So number 2, Mark.
Number 2 is your world is nothing more than the thoughts you have about your experience.
And that means your attitude determines your altitude. Just think of that. Attitude equals altitude. You're going to go places because, and I love that all day long I'm working with people and I say stuff, I don't even realize what I'm saying. I say, if you walk into a room and you see somebody on fire, everybody's looking at them. Be that person that's on fire. Be the one that is just exuding confidence and happiness and life. And it's training. It's mental conditioning, which we talk about all the time. So, Lori knows that I've said that. And then number 3.
In order to live worry-free, first imagine a worry-free life.
Right. So, somebody, I'll close out with this one. There was always this thing about, fake it till you make it. And that used to fucking chat my ass, man, because faking it is just not genuine, authentic. Act as if you have all the money in the world. You can buy what you want. Act as if you're the CEO of your own company. All of that is mental conditioning. How you do that, the thoughts, the things, everything you feed yourself builds those muscles. And so on National Thoughtful Day, I am asking all of you to stop and think about what you're thinking, because there is stinky thinking, and stinky thinking is bad.
And especially with what's going on right now, I know normally we would steer away from politics, but no matter what side of the aisle you're on, the Democratic National Convention is done, the Republican National Convention is done, and there are major protests and movements and stoppage of play, and there are major things happening. If you'll just stop to listen and think on your own, forget about what your party says, forget about what your news channel says, just stop and listen to people and think for yourself and live hate-free. Live hate-free, live fear-free, and make your own decisions on what you think is right. You'll be fine. And I promise that as a human race, we will move in a direction that is better, but we have to think. You have to not just take everything at face value. Listen to everybody and where it's coming from and what's happening. So
I don't know who the LinkedIn user, but it says AKA instead of self-defeating or self-limiting, self-fulfilling prophecy. That's a home run. We can't see who the user is. If you want to own
Kimberly
up to
Benton is who it is. I can, because I'm
on.
Oh,
no
LinkedIn,
kidding.
See it.
Oh, good. I have a conversation with Kimberly today. I hope. Yeah,
Awesome.
That's very nice. Very, very nice. So you are absolutely right. You can fulfill, whatever you want to do. You're in control to do it. So you guys have an awesome Friday. Here's a reminder: last Friday of August, we come back. We got a Monday, and then bam, we're in the last of the quarter. Lots of good stuff. Shay, you want to take us out for the weekend? Any final?
Thank you for all you do.
Go out, make it happen.
Stay on the ball.
Stay on the ball. See you guys.